Hello, I thought I'd do another quick vlog, and I changed my hair. I have a little ponytail back here, and I need to slick it down with some gel and hairspray, but it's up for right now. It's just up for right now. Anyway, I just came back because I wanted to talk a little bit more about the coronavirus, which I haven't mentioned yet in any of, well, I mentioned I mentioned it once in one of my responses or comments to a blog that someone wrote. But I really believe that the coronavirus is just paving the way for a new way of life. It's a way for Jesus to make sure everyone just slows their pace down, and learn to live on a little bit, and accept the blessings of being at home, relaxing, and being with family if you're with family. And if you're alone, then, getting on social media and making new friends over social media, you know, watching other people's vlogs, maybe even creating your own vlog. You never know, you might be a YouTube sensation. You have no idea. But wouldn't it be nice for you to find out if you could? My vlog is basically about creative things and evil and Jesus. And that's what my vlog is about. And jewelry and fashion too. Yeah, so it's, it's creative things. It's just creative things. So, I mean, I just want to say, I started this vlog just to get things off my chest, and I loved it so much because of all the prayers I received, you know, and I healed so much, and the fact that I became mentally ill was a blessing in disguise because I received uh, I was put on a new medication that took the paranoia away. So it was a blessing in disguise that I got mentally ill. I think that was part of Jesus' plan, to teach me not to get off my medication and to also put me on another med that would make me even better. So, um, So Jesus works in mysterious ways. He really does. And you know, as I've said before, they really take away my ability to pray, for myself and for others. And well, then I get hurt. But I asked for prayers, and all the prayers worked. It was so helpful. And for anyone who prayed for me, thank you once again. And if you didn't pray for me, it doesn't matter. Thank you for watching my vlog. Thank you. I try very hard not to offend people on my vlog, but I'm going to talk about Roman Catholicism just a little bit. I want to say that I love being Roman Catholic. I really do. A lot of people say it's so strict and restrictive and everything like that, but if you pray, like pray the rosary and novenas and pray on your own, and just all that will help you grow closer to Jesus, and it'll motivate you more to go to church often and go to confession. It will motivate you, and you'll enjoy church, and you'll enjoy going to confession, and you'll enjoy life because Jesus is not going to let you feel lonely and sad. You might feel lonely and sad a little bit, but when you turn to Jesus, he'll keep you company. Jesus will. And he's there for everyone. He's there for everyone. And a lot of people say that the communion, the Eucharist, isn't real. Well, I mean, a lot of people can say that, but that's been a tradition for over 2,000 years, I believe. Yeah, since the Last Supper, it's been a tradition, and it's real. Jesus said it in the Last Supper, and it's real. It's been continued on and passed on uh, over the centuries because it's real. It's something that won't go away. And Catholics, true Roman Catholics, believe that the Eucharist is for real. And it is a very sacred thing, to commune with God, to take communion and commune with Jesus. It's sacred. But it's also very helpful because it you put you so close to Jesus, and Jesus is with you, you know, and he helps you throughout your day and throughout the rest of the week until you take communion again. He'll help you. So that's all I wanted to say about Roman Catholicism because, it takes a beating. It does take a beating from a lot of people, from a lot of people. And, but I believe Roman Catholicism is the original Christianity. I know I'm saying stuff that's controversial again, but it is the original Christianity. Okay? Those are the roots of all Christianity. And that's all I'm saying for right now. But not to completely discount Christians because they love Jesus, and I believe they'll go to heaven. They will go to heaven. It's just Roman Catholicism is the fullness of the faith. Okay, so yes, Christians, you do believe in Jesus. You will go to heaven. I'm not saying you're going to not go to heaven because you're not Catholic, but I'm just saying Roman Catholicism is the fullness of the faith. Okay. Anyway, so please don't get offended, Christians. Okay, sorry. Anyway, but I just wanted to say that. And like I was saying before, I'll get back to the coronavirus and the way life has changed for so many people. For people around the world. Jesus, I believe in my heart and soul, is just paving the way for a new way of life. you know? And really, if I ever get when I get my money, and I don't know how, it's a lot of money, uh, when I get my money, I would want to m- pave the way. I would want to change everyone's way of life too. You know? I mean, I know I was dealing with a lot of evil in my life, but I try to give, when I was working as a teacher, I was dealing with a lot of evil in my life and people going against me and people, trying to take everything away. And, I'd come up with things that I would do for teaching, and then suddenly I couldn't do them anymore. So I had to keep creating and recreating things to keep my lessons interesting and fun, and so the students would learn and to try to keep organized, and then I stopped doing one thing and then I'd see another teacher doing it, and then they take my dry erase boards or they take my markers, and or they just reach in my cabinet and just grab things from my cabinet and use it for themselves. But that's just the work thing. But what I'm trying to get at is what I'm really trying to say is that as a teacher, I really did work hard. I mean, I worked so hard, and I did extra activities. It wasn't just teaching. I did so much in my 30s that I mean, I studied, I did so much in my 30s, and I was so burned out by the time I was 40. I know that the evil had a lot to do with it, but even if I didn't have the evil in my life, I would have been exhausted by the time I was 40 because I was living the typical professional life. You know, go to work really early in the morning, come home. I didn't come home late. I came home around about 4:30. Uh, so but I went to work at 8 to 4:30. Okay, so and then come home around 4:30, then have dinner, and then go do some shopping, go to the gym, then if I had a class, go to the class. I taught extra classes at one point, and or you know, work on your lesson plans, grade your papers, and just keep going and go out with friends and just keep your life going. Go to dinner with friends and you know, just everything. I just kept going and going and going and go on vacations, and my vacations weren't even relaxing because because evil people made them not relaxing. That's what my men are saying. But I also grew really tired of traveling, you know, and that's because of evil people too. Okay, well that's fine. I don't want to travel that much anymore. So, anyway, I don't know what the future holds, but I really don't want to travel. And my men say there will be some travel. Okay, well, there'll be some travel. Um, anyways, what I'm trying to get at is that so many people have such busy, busy lives that they don't stop and think about the really important things. You know, I barely saw my father, and our relationship was almost non-existent. And I came to see my mother every once in a while, but not that often. I didn't really see her that often, and almost never did I have dinner with her, except when she made something special. And my dad, I think I may have gone to dinner once or twice with him and breakfast once or twice throughout my entire 20s and 30s, except when I lived with my father for a little while, you know? And and it was and then it was a big wake-up call when it was a major decision to decide to step back from teaching because I didn't, even though I wanted to, I didn't take classes um, in programming, which is what I wanted to do. I always wanted to go into computers, but that's because I was blocked. Oh, that's why. Because I kept meaning to get a degree in programming, or I'm sorry, certification in programming, but I never did. And so I didn't have anything to fall back on when I quit teaching. And it was a major decision in my life. I really had to think hard about it, but I decided to stop teaching. And I'm so glad I did because it was so difficult for me to teach, with all the stuff going against me. All the people going against me, you know. Try this, and then I would try it, and then suddenly I wouldn't be able to do it anymore. And then somebody else would be doing it, and then do this, and no, I can't do that anymore. And I kept just doing different things the entire time. And my man said that's because people were taking everything from you and blocking it from you because you are a brilliant teacher. Oh, my man said that. I didn't say that. I would never say something like that. Okay, so anyway, um, but yeah, so I don't know. I'm just vlogging because I'm still awake and it's late. I, I'm not sure. It was 2 something when I checked the clock when I started this. Anyway, so professional, you don't, when you have such a busy, busy life, a busy, busy life like I had, and like lots of professionals have, you forget about little things. You may not forget about your parents. May a lot of you love your parents so much, and I love my parents too, but I had forgotten about the love. The love was weakened because I just I just forgot. And then Jesus taught me. Jesus had and I became a snob. I really did. I became a snob. And I became, uh, not catty, but I talked bad about people behind their backs. And, I didn't mean to, but I did. And it was the influence. Not saying that everyone who's a professional is snobby or talks behind people's backs. It just happened that I did. And and no, some people are very professional. Obviously, people are very professional and don't do that. So, uh, but I did. Anyway, so I just and then Jesus taught me the lesson because everything I tried failed, and I know that was because of evil, but also Jesus used it. Jesus used it. And I had to slow completely down. It was hard for me to slow down. It was so difficult to slow down. But I had to take care of my father, who first broke his hip and then went into assisted living and then got cancer. And I had to take him to all of his doctor's appointments and I had to be there for him. I loved my father. And once again, we reconnected, and he became my BFF, my best friend forever, and I just loved him so much. My dad was awesome. He was so awesome, and he'd get all upset if I wasn't at the assisted living by 3:30. 3:30, you gotta be here by 3:30. 3:30, get here by 3:30 every day. And if I wasn't there at 3:30, he'd call, "Where are you? Why aren't you here?" So I had to be there by 3:30 every day. Yes, and I did. I went every day and I made sure that he was getting his medication. And, he wasn't. They were just setting the medication down on the counter and not giving it to him. So I had to, correct that. And then he got cancer and then he passed away. And it was sad. It was very sad. And then I took care of my mother who had dementia a little bit. She had someone else helping her, so I just helped out too. And then I moved out and I moved in with a woman who had a stroke, and I helped her. And that was, I don't know how long that lasted, maybe about 8 months or so. And then I moved back with my mother, and my sister had issues with her feet, so I had to help her. And, she was disabled for a long time, and then she was able to walk again, and she was okay. And then went back to helping my mom, and then my sister then her roommate died and my mother was unable to be alone ever, so I moved in with her again, and now I've been taking care of her for more than a year. I've never left her alone. I've either been with her or she's been with someone else. uh, for an entire more than a year that I've been here. And my sister has also had surgery on her leg, and I've been working with my sister too. So Jesus really did have to teach me patience again. And although I had patience, but he had to teach me patience and how to be selfless and you know because I can't work. I really can't work. Any little thing I do, they block anyway. But even I think about it, and I'm like, well, it really won't work for me anyway because I'm taking care of my mother, and I can't have a phone job because she'll talk to me or whatever, and the TV's on, and I just can't do that. But so, anyways, what I'm trying to say, and I'm just going off on tangent after tangent, is that I think Jesus is doing the same for the world, making everyone slow down for a while. Slow down, you know? Slow down. I'm not saying that. I think that's what Jesus is saying, you know? Slow down. So, but who knows if that's the truth? But I believe in my heart that is the truth. That Jesus is telling everyone, is showing everyone that they need to slow down. Yes, I know. And it's through a pandemic. And it's terrible. It's horrible. But, what can I say? You know, I, uh, I was blocked by evil. And, Jesus had nothing to do with that. But he used it. So this pandemic started maybe by something else. And Jesus is just using it to teach people lessons, you know? So, I don't think Jesus started this pandemic. I think this pandemic started, I'm not even sure how, really. I mean, can we really believe it was a bat? I don't know. But it started on its own, and Jesus is using it, you know? Jesus had nothing to do with all my failures. He just used them because they were blocked by evil, and he was obeying the laws of the universe. So, until there were prayers, enough prayers to stop a lot of this stuff. So, anyways, but that's that. Um, so I hope everybody. It's so hard to adjust to going nonstop to just sitting still at home. I know because I've been there. I've been there. So difficult. And then if your money's cut off, that's even worse. And $1,200. Really, really, if you're a professional making a lot of money, and $1,200 is all you get, don't get me wrong, I'm grateful, and I know everyone should be grateful for the $1,200. I'm just saying, I could relate. I could relate to the professionals out there who made, or to anyone out there, because a lot of people make good money, and and are just have lost their jobs, or are on unemployment right now, and they're only getting $1,200 when they make really good money. I'm sorry that's happening, but I can relate. I've been there, but this shall pass, and things will go back to normal, or maybe not. Maybe there'll be a better world after this. Okay? So keep the faith if you're faithful. And if you're not, keep hoping. Okay? Anyway, but that's all I wanted to say. That's all. It's 23 minutes. That's all I wanted to say. Anyway, so I'm going to end this vlog now. On that note, I'm going to end this vlog, and I'm going to say once again, I hope everybody has a great day tomorrow and things go your way. All right, bye.